Your last few fights, they've been a little tough for you, man. You're getting these screw jobs, these split decisions. Just talk about your last two fights in Strikeforce.
Well, that's the first time I've ever lost two fights in a row, and they were split decisions. I think the one in January against Nishan, it was pretty obvious that, I probably should have won that fight. I thought I won the fight. I thought I won the last fight with Bobby Green as well. That one was definitely closer than Nishan. Like, I didn't think there was any reason for even a split decision with Nishan. I thought I was going to win that unanimously. The first two rounds were, pretty much all me. And then, with the one with Bobby Green, the fight played out like this. I've watched the fight over and over again. I've, scrutinized over the fight, scored it, in the best light possible for Bobby. And, in the best light possible, the first and third round were very close. I dominated the second round, and I just, I was disappointed, but at the same time, when they read the decision, I was like, oh God, here it comes again. It was a close fight though. I do understand that the fight with Bobby was close, but I of course, like I said, I feel like I won the fight. That's, I didn't, there's some certain strategies that maybe I should have implemented, or certain moves I should have implemented in the fight with Bobby that I definitely could have. I feel that I could have. I just did not. I didn't take him down. I didn't use my wrestling because I thought I was winning the stand-up. I didn't think I need to. Plus, I was actually just having this conversation with George Urzel today. I've been wrestling my whole life. I love wrestling. It's my roots. I love it. At the same time, you give a kid a new toy, he wants to play with it. So I want to strike. I want to stand and bang, and I love it. I really, I've been wrestling my whole life. I don't want to lay in the ground, in my fights. So I should have taken him down in hindsight, but it's easier said than done. It's you look at the fights from the outside, when I watch the tape, and I feel like I should have taken him down to make that a clear and definitive decision. But that was a mistake on my part, and I do feel like I won both fights. But we're just going to get better and grow from that, and learn from my mistakes.
Do you think anything can be done about these judges? A lot of people talk about instant replay in MMA, open scoring so the fighters and fans can see the scores in between rounds.
Yeah.
A lot of different ideas out there. You think anything can be done?
Yeah, I think something should be done. I think I've been kind of a victim in a way of the lack of scoring. There's the lack of, there's not definitive rules when it comes to scoring. I feel, I almost feel like it's subjective to the particular judge and what their background is. I think what you just mentioned about the replay and showing the fighters the score, that's awesome. I think that's great. In wrestling, my background, of course, I'll go back to that. We know what the score is always. You always know what the score is. It's very clear and concise how you score if the ref gave it to you. So I think that'd be cool. I think replay would be great too. I also think how Pride used to do it, and they score the fight as a whole. I think that would be great as well. There needs to be something done, and I think I know that my generation, when I'm of age to be a judge. So let's say I'm 50. Fighting. My generation, the next generation of judges is going to be different because these guys that are judging are not MMA fighters. They're like I said, they have a particular style that they competed in, or maybe not even competed. Some of them, are probably not even athletes. I've seen that before. So I think that the next generation judges are going to be MMA fighters like myself, and we're going to have a lot better understanding of who's winning the fight and where the scoring is happening, and not just being partial to what I enjoy, which is a takedown or a strike or, oh my God, somebody's bleeding, I'm going to say this real quick. I bleed very easily, and I'm very pasty, My wife points it out to me very much. I have very light skin, so when I bleed, it looks really, really bad because my skin's so white. I think that played a big role in my last fight with Bobby. I was, bloody, and it was. I got bloody. One of my best fights ever. When I knocked out Josh Thornburg, he hit me literally maybe 1, 2 or 3 times. We'll say, best light possible. We'll say he hit me 5 times, but he cut me in that fight, and I completely dominated that fight, and it was the most light grazing shot that cut me. That really right then and there I was like, oh God, okay, I'm now that I'm cutting a little more weight, and I think my skin thins out, and I guess I'm just too pretty, the powers in the universe want me to get cut and not be so handsome, I'll do my best.
Yeah, for sure, man. Okay, so you talked about not knowing what exactly the judges are looking for. We talked to Ramsey of the UFC recently, and we also talked to a guy you know quite well, Carlos Fedor, and both guys said they have no idea what the judges are looking for. And Cecil Peoples, judge, recently came out and said he doesn't score kicks.
Huh, nice. That's great for me. Not. Oh, God.
Yeah, for sure, man. So when can we expect to see it back in the cage?
You know what? I don't know, man. I mean, I'm ready. When duty calls, I will be ready. I'm always training. So I'm hoping maybe to be able to talk to the matchmakers while I'm here at the UFC Summit. I'll see everybody tomorrow. So, I'm ready to go, man. They've kept me very busy. I've been very lucky. I've fought, off the top of my head, 6 or 7 times in the last 18 months around. So I think, I think they're going to keep me busy. I think I'll fight again before the end of the year. And, hey, maybe they'll fight me twice if I'm lucky. So I'm just going to train hard and keep working on my skill set and improving, focusing on my weaknesses and working on my strengths. So, I can't wait. I love fighting, and I love training, and I'm just going to stay at it.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned 6 or 7 fights in the last 18 months. Being with Strikeforce since 2009, just talk about the changes in the company over the last few years. Well,
I really have always liked Strikeforce a lot, even when they were owned by Mr. Coker. They've always treated me very well. Zuffa has taken over, as you guys know, about a little over a year ago, and they're very organized. They brought a lot of things to the table that I think are really good for the sport and good for the company. I'm very happy with Zuffa and their employees, and I think this is obviously, very, very obviously, this is the best company to be fighting for, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Okay, man, looking at your career, what would you say is your signature win?
Like I said earlier, I think the Thornburg fight was a good one for the masses to see. I think a big turning point in my career was when I lost to Tarek Safadine. I kind of went back to the drawing board on my striking because he was he outpointed me in the striking, and he landed some really tough shots. And at the time, I didn't feel like I had power in my hands. And looking back on the fight, I'm a completely different fighter now, and I think everybody that's watched me has seen. So my fight following that against David Marshall, it was 6 months after I fought Tarek. I kind of turned the corner, and I think in any sport, especially MMA, you have plateaus, and then all of a sudden you'll have almost exponential growth in your skill set. And between the fight of Tarek and David, I think I really turned the corner. I actually walked off after I beat David, and it wasn't a knockout. I knocked him down in the second round with a Superman punch. and I probably could have finished it, but it was right at the end of the round, and the bell sounded, so he was able to recompose himself. But when I walked off after getting the unanimous decision, Kung and some of my other coaches were like, "Yeah, that's a different fighter there. You turned the corner," and basically, gave me a lot of confidence from what they were telling me on how I changed and my improvements. And then following that, I had my next 3 wins were knockouts. And I had a little bump on the road with Karos, in the middle of that. But I think that was my first 55 fight. I think I fought him well, and he's basically destroyed everybody he's fought, with the exception of his last fight where he lost to Pat Healy, who's, obviously one of the best Strikeforce lightweight fighters. But I feel like I did good against Karos, and I really turned the corner. So.
Okay, man. So, what were you doing at the UFC Expo?
Well, once a year we have a Zuffa meeting, basically, and they address different issues to us, from public relations to certain responsibilities or this and that they want us to be aware of. And it's awesome. We get to, I get to rub elbows with all these fantastic fighters. Like I was saying, I was talking to George Rosell and Fast Eddie earlier. I guess that's his. One of his guys or his teammates, so that was really cool. I'm working out, next to last year I was working out next to Keith Jardine, and it was really mind blowing. So it's cool. I get to talk to all these guys, and we get to go down there and train in Lorenzo Fertitta's private gym here at Zuffa headquarters. And it's a fun time. I'm kind of bummed though because Kung fought last night, obviously, and I was supposed to meet up with him today. Kung's like my boy. He's like my big brother and like father figure to me and my coach. So I was really looking forward to seeing him, but unfortunately, his foot's bothering him a little bit, so he had to get some I think X-rays or something like that. So I actually don't get to see him today. So I was a little bummed about that, but
yeah, how crazy is Vegas this weekend, man?
You know what? We're off the strip, so I'm not really getting to see the craziness, but I'm sure it's wild. I read something about Dana talking about, this fight was huge for the economy here. It was going to be huge for the economy. So I'm sure it's pretty crazy in Vegas, but not my style. I'm glad to be off the strip, and a lot of people today were at the pool and sunning themselves. It was like 109 degrees today, but I was in the gym working out and sitting in the sauna. FaceTiming my wife and, drinking Starbucks like what I do at home. So I had a good day, good productive day.
Okay, obviously, AKA, there's tons and tons of great guys. Just talk about some of the guys you train with on a daily basis.
Well, what I actually train at Kung Lee's AKA, which is an affiliate.
Okay, right.
In AKA headquarters. So the USH Fight Team, Limited Strength and Honor, is the USH Fight Team is my actual home. I train there 5 days a week. We have a whole bunch of guys that are coming up, amateurs. And we actually have the Camo had a big tournament for the amateurs, which is really, really awesome. And 2 of our guys won it. Heavyweight Mike Ortega and bantamweight, I think it was 135, Rad Garcia. There's collecting amateur belts and coming up, and we've got a whole bunch of pro fighters. Like Sam Spangler, who's a Strikeforce veteran. He took a couple years off, and he's back now, and I'm getting to work out with him. We got a guy named Jeff Paulson who's fought in the Arizona local circuits. He's really good. We have a bunch of really good guys that are coming up, not well known. And then, of course, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, I go over and I train at the AK headquarters. That's kind of my grappling spot. We have wrestling practice over there. Daniel Cormier runs it, and then I'm going to butcher his name, Leandro Vera, I think his name is. He's the new jiu-jitsu coach, and he's over there too. So I get to work out with him, and my main training partners at the AK headquarters, I would have to say maybe are Justin Wilcox. I was training with Koshek a lot during the wrestling day before he left. I get to work out with a lot of Josh Thompson before he fought Gilbert. I was working out with him a lot. Actually, Josh used to be one of the coaches over at Kung Lee's AKA. So I know Josh very well. I know all the guys well, but especially Josh. We've trained together for a number of years.
Hey, man, would you like to promote your Twitter or Facebook or anything else?
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the process of making a fan page for my Facebook, but I accept any and all invites on my Facebook. So just look me up, James Terry, and then of course my Twitter is at James Terry _USH, which is an acronym for Unlimited Strength and Honor. Like I said earlier, that's kind of our team motto, made by Kung Lee. He also has an Ush clothing brand. So at James Terry _Ush, you guys can follow me there. I have lots of really awesome things to say.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the time.
Of course, Mark. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.